what we didn't know about dyslexia. Now, I don't speak a lot about dyslexia just because it wasn't that long ago since I got do you call it a diagnosis? Or you do that assessment thing. So it was probably 3 years ago now. But it was when I was doing my journalism masters that I did it. And they found out that I was dyslexic and dyspraxic and had this really spiked profile. So I was really good at some things and then really bad at others. And I always remember when I arrived for the assessment that I got lost on the way, and then I ended up... Oh, there you are.
Okay.
Ari's doing a video, aren't you? And I ended up stopping the car in the middle of a road in busy Salford and crying because I didn't know where to go. You pressed it,
Pressed it. It's already on. It's already on.
You just hold it. So if you sit on the tiger and get the video as well.
There.
Thank you.
Good girl.
And then, but apparently these were all signs of dyslexia and dyspraxia. I even got lost going into the room and then got lost on my way to the toilet during the assessment. So yeah, there were funny times and also it was really intense. It was really stressful, the assessment. But Lee, you've known for quite a while that you've had dyslexia.
Yeah, funny thing is, before you're assessed, you don't just know if you're stupid, if you're thick, because that's what everyone says. That's what your school teachers would say. You're stupid, thick. It's what your school friends would say. You're always at the bottom of the class. And so to think, am I dyslexic? Am I not dyslexic? Of course, I was at a time when dyslexia was just being discovered when I was at school. It was a word I'd heard of, but I really didn't know what it was. And it took me to my mid-30s to actually go for an assessment. And people were, all my life, have been saying, look, you've got to go and get assessed. You've got to go and get assessed. But one of the reasons I didn't want to get assessed was because what would it feel like if they said, no, you're not dyslexic. You are just stupid. and it was one or the other. It's just, and so it's a label which sort of helps. And people seem to be more accommodating. But how it was, we've just seen Jasmine jumping about here. When I left school, Jasmine, at this moment, at the age of 6, her reading and writing is better than mine was when I left school.
Yeah, because is it fair to say your dyslexia is quite severe?
Yeah.
Is that the right?
It's severe in that I can't write a postcard without it being full of spelling mistakes and I can't see where they are.
Yeah.
So the thing that's really helped me is computers, spell check. They're not idiot proof, but it really helps.
Yeah. Because I've struggled in lots of areas, but not necessarily spelling and writing. Because bizarrely, I actually like to express myself through words on a paper rather than speech. Because speech, I get muddled up often. So for me, I was quite surprised that I had a definite dyslexia and dyspraxia score. But it's actually really helped me since finding it out, because there was areas that I don't think people talk about, being dyslexic and stuff. Do you know, like being bad at directions, or like, even though I dance, I do belly dancing, but that's because it's all improvised. But give me a routine, like I go to Zumba, I love Zumba, but I'm so rubbish at it. I daren't tell anyone that I'm a professional dancer because I just can't do sequences, no matter what. It's like, and it surprised me because I just saw dyslexia as spelling and grammar, and whilst I do make a lot of spelling mistakes, mine doesn't show so much in that area. Because do you find it affects other parts of your life as well?
Well, I mean, throughout my career, it affected me because I could never get a job that took any form of writing, notes, reports. So it meant that most of my working career, up until late 30s, was on minimum wage. And that's really hard, you know. So I found that I've had to work for myself to be able to get any sort of a decent wage, because who would take on someone who can't even write the application form? If you can't write an application form, then it's a bit naff, isn't it? And I don't blame them.
Yeah.
But actually,
But then I think you shine in other areas, don't you? Like, you've always been proper personable and friendly and like emotionally intelligent.
probably like somebody who's maybe short-sighted or can't see, or blind or something, their hearing becomes better attuned. And so maybe I've attuned other aspects of my life. All my life I thought that my dyslexia has held me back. But I realise now that through not being able to get the sort of jobs I might have wanted to, not being able to go to university, not being able to take a proper career, it's meant that I've been able to develop and go places and do things which wouldn't have been open to me had I had a proper career.
And also, well, it's like the National Crime Agency, when they were looking for code breakers, they I can't even say that word, specifically wanted dyslexic people because of the way we think is often quite outside of the box. It's not like the linear way of thinking. And so I think partly, whether it's the dyslexia or the dyspraxia, it helps me be so creative, and because whilst I'm not at all structured and I'm not at all logical, and I struggle with processing, and especially in journalism with names, I get names confused all the time. Like I'd call, I don't know, Theresa Blair, or get it all like proper confused, which I can see the funny side, but then sometimes you're in situations that are high pressure, and the higher pressure, the more my dyslexia shows, because I start spouting out things and you think you definitely know somebody's name and it's just totally wrong, or I don't know, or like a word.
Yeah.
I've never, I don't understand how people know big words. I don't get it.
Well, I think that's maybe a slightly different thing, because I'm sure because you are one of the most intelligent, you've got one of the highest scores in the city, in your
English,
not just in English, but across all the schools, you became one of the highest in the city. So there's you see the intelligence there, but also what I recognise is often when I worked with people and with organisations and companies, they say, "Oh, Lee, it's amazing," because you just think so much out of the box. It's a bit of an old-fashioned saying, but no, I'm not thinking outside the box. I've just never been in it. I'm actually trying to conform. I'm trying to work out what to do because I haven't been through the mill of a corporate.
Yeah.
And they just think it's so, wow, how do you think of that? Where do you possibly... It's just trying to make my way through it.
Yeah.
It's not special at all.
You got too many photos.
Yeah.
Right, well, we'll leave it there today. See you all later.